Welcome to Education in Focus. I'm your host, Aliana Kernodle. After seeing billions of dollars in research funding frozen and facing multiple federal demands for internal reform, Harvard University is suing the Trump administration under the claim that it has violated the school's First Amendment rights. Joining me to dig into this is reporter for the Center Square, Therese Boudreau. Therese, could you lay out this lawsuit for us?
Yeah, so um, Harvard is suing the Trump administration, as you said, over what they say is a violation of their First Amendment rights, because they're saying that the Trump administration, by using federal funding as leverage to try to push them towards certain speech or certain things, like for instance, the Trump administration wants them to crack down on any programs or classes that are anti-Semitic or otherwise discriminatory on student behavior. That's the same thing. So Harvard is saying that by using leverage to push Harvard to do these things, that their free speech and their freedom of expression is effectively being they're being coerced, that their First Amendment rights are being taken away because there's this whole money question. There's 2.2 billion in funding that the Department of Education took away. They're also saying in the lawsuit that there are some procedural things as well that the Trump administration neglected, basically using how congressionally they say presidents are only supposed to withhold federal funding, or administrations rather, only supposed to hold federal funding as a last resort. And so the Harvard president was saying that, look, we're trying to crack down on anti-Semitism. We know we have work to do, but they're doing some investigations. They're trying to get a handle on it. And they say that the Trump administration is acting too fast and is trying to use this as an excuse to control what the university says, what it teaches, what the people there are doing. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
And you mentioned comments made by the Harvard president, Alan Garber, and he has made a statement on this subject. Can you get a little bit more into what he's said?
Yeah. So again, when Harvard filed the lawsuit, he released a statement saying that that this is an attack on the character, the freedom of Harvard University. And he said that we as Harvard University are not going to let this administration or any other administration push us around or tell us what to teach or how to teach it. Again, he did emphasize that they are trying to crack down on anti-Semitism. They're actually going to be releasing a report on both anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli sentiments and anti-Palestinian sentiments from what's happening on campus, that kind of stuff. So he says he is committed to cracking down on it, but he is suing the Trump administration because he thinks that this is kind of an example of a broader crackdown on the higher educational institutions in the U.S. by the Trump administration, so that they will root out, diversity, equity, inclusion policies or teaching or, anti-Semitic things, other discriminatory, Title IX kind of stuff. So he's holding fast to that. Besides the funding, taking away the 2.2 billion in funding, Trump administration, they've also directed the IRS to examine the school's tax exempt status, which would be huge. And some other things as well. The Department of Homeland Security also rescinded a couple million in grants that were being used at Harvard to research. Forget exactly what it was, but basically DHS said you were just researching things that are discriminatory or DEI or useless, and we're not going to give you federal dollars for that. So it's an evolving issue, and it doesn't look like Harvard's going to back down anytime soon, but it also doesn't look like the administration is going to back down anytime soon. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, and any idea on what we can expect going forward?
I don't, it doesn't, there are no signs that either Trump administration or Harvard is going to back down anytime soon. Trump administration recently released some executive orders that kind of compounding on what he's doing with Harvard and a couple other schools. He released one last night or evening that would stiffen the penalties for schools that don't report foreign gifts from foreign sources. Which the Trump administration says, hey, that's one thing that's been influencing all of these anti-America or DEI, propaganda on our campuses and things like that. Also, a couple of executive orders that change the college accreditation process, and ones that all of these oriented towards rooting out, DEI discrimination, whether racially or culturally or otherwise. So this is ongoing. This is bigger than just Harvard. We don't know. Harvard right now is holding fast to what they want to teach. But the Trump administration certainly is not done. They're going to keep moving forward on rooting out these policies and trying to crack down on what they see as woke or discriminatory speech and actions on campuses.
Well, Therese, thank you for your insights on this story. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.